Greetings, sirs and madams. I'm Seraphic Zero, and we're playing Gundam Battle Operation 2. So this week's banner is the Full Armor G7 Gundam, and I really want to get my hands on this thing because it looks crazy overpowered. I've seen it do a lot of good work on other people's channels, and actually I've never seen this mobile suit in action before in its original game. So it comes from 0081. That's where all the G-Line mobile suits are from. Yeah, so you'll see some similarities between those and this thing. So yeah, I've been waiting for like a high-class support type for a really long time, and this looks like it completely fits the bill. Okay, so I've already done 2 10 spins for this thing, didn't get crap. So I've been saving up some tokens, and let's see what we get out of these planes. Yeah, I already did the step up, but I didn't get too many interesting things out of that. Okay, so we have a Hyzak Beam Saber, and here we have the Full Armor 7th Gundam, a level 1, yeah, it's technically the G7, and we also have the level 2 Full Armor 7th Gundam. Okay, that's never happened to me before. I actually got both of the levels in one 10 spin. That's very unusual. Yeah, usually my banner pulls aren't very good. Okay, I also got the level 1 Bishop. I don't have the Bishop on my new US account, so yeah, I'm really glad to be able to use that again. Yeah, I need to practice with it because I was pretty awful with it in my earlier video. And the Desert Gym, yeah, I really don't care for that suit. Okay, Enhanced Beam Saber again. It's just me, like everybody is just getting like an unholy shit ton of Beam Sabers lately. Okay, and I got that Rick Dom GH during the step up. Okay, and you get Ko's helmet and spacesuit. Okay, it looks like all of my new things are support class mobile suits. That's funny. Okay, so the level 1 G7 is 550. Okay, it's got space compatibility. Yeah, really high shooting correction, pretty good mobility for a support class. Yeah, very moderate buffs between level 1 and 2. Okay, the Bishop's 350, level 1. And the Desert Gem. Oh, this one's level 4. Yeah, that's pretty up there. Okay, I'm excited. I've been trying to get this G7 for frickin' ever. Yeah, I've saved up a ton of recycle tickets. I almost have like 1,200. And I'm gonna use that to get the GPO4 and the MLRS. So hopefully I can round out my a collection of strong support class suits. Okay, so looking at the stats on thing, it has 41 range boost, which is huge. And I hear it actually does really good melee damage too. Okay, let's look at the weapons. The beam rifle has 450 range, which is a lot, and it has a 60% heat rate. So yeah, that's kind of high. It's a focusing rifle with 3 seconds to focus. Okay, it can't equip any other weapons. Okay, Beam Saber is 1900. Okay, I already have a bunch of these, so let's put on level 5. Okay, it's got leg missiles, 450 range, which is the same as the beam rifle. It's got 16 ammo. Yeah, so these probably rapid fire. Okay, a arm rocket. Yeah, 4 rounds. I think it's the same as the Mudrock, really. Okay, a beam spot gun. 15% heat, 200 meters, and this is the big boy gun, 240mm beam, mega beam cannon, 800 meters. I guess it overheats on every shot. Yeah, and you have to focus it in order to fire. I think it's got like a 20-second charge time, which is insane. So, yeah, that weapon might actually be a bit of a trap. You can kind of open with it at the beginning of a match, but I sort of don't recommend using it unless you have very good position with it, like if you're in a sniper's nest. Okay, so I probably don't need to quick swap to missiles, so I'm gonna put my grenades on X and my beam spot gun on circle. So I've watched a lot of videos that Sync did on this mobile suit, and it seems that you can stun with the charged beam rifle, or the focus beam rifle, but you can like swap between sub-weapons and stun that way too. It's pretty cool. Okay, so for skills, you got like some regular support type stuff. This suit has forced injector, which is very rare for support type mobile suits. And yeah, it's got some skills to reduce the damage it takes. I think if you hit it in its giant tail fin or in its cannon, it actually takes less damage there, just a little bit. And it also has high spec AMBAC. Yeah, so this suit's gonna have really excellent mobility in space. Like those force injector and AMBAC plus space compatibility, it's probably gonna have like, yeah, great mobility in space. But yeah, we're gonna take it to the ground for testing. Okay, so we're just gonna throw some paint on this real fast. I will say that the color blocking on this mobile suit is very attractive, but the way it's organized in the paint menu is very strange. God, that tail binder is huge. This thing has a lot of junk in the trunk. What does that even do, man? Wow. Yeah, I find it kind of interesting that the shoulders, they have the same groove patterns as the heavy arms. Yeah, so that's kind of neat. Well, I'm pretty sure Kotoki also did the design on this thing, so... Okay, so... Let's check out this thing in a field test. It's got pretty good running speed. I think it's the same running speed as the Gym Sniper Custom. And this is actually very good natural turn speed for a support type suit. Looks like it's got very good like boosting capacity. This is even on the ground. It has compatibility for space. Okay, weapon cycle. I just noticed this thing doesn't have Vulcans. Or it can't use them, at least. Okay, this thing definitely only fires on a full charge. Okay, so I'm gonna check... Okay, so if I want to quick swap to missiles, I can go Beam Saber to missile. I'm just checking to see what I can go kneel with, and what I can scope with. Okay, you can scope with missiles, rockets, beam gun, and you can scope with the cannon. Yeah, I can pretty much scope with everything but the saber. Okay, let's look at the saber. Oh, which neutral is that? It looks like the same neutral the G-lines have. Which makes sense, you know, they're all kind of related. Although I suppose the G7, like, I haven't really read up on its development history. Well, that's a really interesting downswing. A lot of reach. Yeah, really focused very fast, so I think that's going to be a pretty good downswing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this thing is a direct lineage of all the, like, the Gundam, like, lineage, like, you know, G1 through G6, but I'm not really sure how its technologies are related to the G-lines. But we'll see. At least the beam saber, or, sorry, the beam rifle looks very similar to a G-line's beam rifle. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of melee damage for a support suit. And that was just the neutral. Okay, so the beam rifle stuns on 3, but you're gonna overheat. Holy crap. A charging shot did 4,000 damage to a general. And you can run and stun with that, that's crazy. Okay, the heat rate on the beam spot gun's really good. The rapid fire on the grenades are insane. God, the volume of fire on this thing is nuts. Okay, and there's the forced injector. You can reposition after your saber cancels. Yeah, this thing looks crazy. Like, you have like so many like long-range options, and it's even really good in saber range too. Whoa, that's weird. Yeah, the camera does some really weird shit when you kneel with your missiles. Okay, the missiles are rapid fire. They do stun after about 10 hits or something. Yeah, remember, those missiles have crazy range, the same as your beam rifle. God, look at the volume of fire on this thing. Yeah, so you don't have to use a charged beam rifle shot to stun. You can switch. What is wrong with me? Yeah, switch between uncharged beam rifle to probably your beam spot gun or your grenades. Yeah, they both accumulate stun pretty easily. Oh man, didn't quite have the damage to finish him off there. Yeah, the comboing with this thing is really fun. Yeah, you got so many things you can just throw at people. Yeah, okay, so you can't run and use the missiles. You have to stand still for them. Okay, I'm gonna break this guy's shield off. Okay. There it goes. Alright, let's see. Alright, here's what everybody came to see. Yeah, I'm gonna break off the shield just to make sure, you know, I don't accidentally hit the shield like with this charge shot. Yeah, so this thing takes 20 seconds, and you can scope with it. Yeah, that's weird, the firing angle between scoping and, you know, not scoping is... Did I just lose the charge? Holy shit. Yeah. That sucks. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so... Yeah, wait for your reticle to change completely. That way you'll know you have your shot ready. Yeah, a lot of people are suggesting that you use focusing parts. Oh, wow. Yeah, so it definitely has piercing. I couldn't one-shot any of these, but I believe I did break their legs in one shot. Yeah, basically if you get hit with this thing, you're pretty much crippled and you're like one shot, maybe one combo away from death. So yeah, it's pretty devastating. I don't know what I feel about that 20-second charge time. It's going to leave you very vulnerable. And it will also leave your team very vulnerable. So that's something I'm pretty worried about. Okay, so I'm just checking damage on these raids. That's a G3. And it's doing pretty decent damage to it. Yeah, the mobility you have with this suit and your different ranged options make it pretty good. And, of course, you know, I haven't played it in a match yet, but hopefully it does okay against raid mobile suits controlled by people. Yeah, that's not bad damage. Like, you have a lot of stun options to defend yourself. And the fact that you can stun using stun accumulation instead of a charge shot or, you know, an instantaneous stun means it should technically pierce maneuver armor, so that could be very good news if you're trying to defend yourself against a raid. Of course, if he gets stunned, it just pushes him out of the way. God, that does so much damage. The grenades, they look fantastic. They might actually be a little better than the Mudrocks, but yeah, they do a ton of damage to general types. Okay, let's just check out some things we can try here. Yeah, so since the rifle has the longest ready time between all of your, you know, faster weapons, I recommend leading with the rifle and then switching to the sub-weapons, because, you know, they have faster ready times. Of course, nobody's just gonna sit there and let you, like, pummel them with all your different teeny tiny guns, so, yeah, just be careful with that. Like, don't... Like, this suit seems to be fantastic at close range, but... Yeah, don't get a big head over it. Like, you can still get overwhelmed, especially if the enemy team has numbers. Okay, so what I want to do here is the last shot I made was prone and scoped in. I kind of want to see what sort of damage it does if I'm just standing here, no multipliers or anything. The charge time is so long that the gun cannon actually respawned. Okay, there it goes. Okay, still got almost 1300 on the general. Yeah, so... Yeah, you gain a few thousand from all the other multipliers, but... Yeah, it's still not bad. Although, like, oh, I can't believe I missed that. Yeah, I don't really recommend charging this while you're standing, because... while you're standing, you can get stunned, and you'll lose your charge. So, yeah, try to charge when you're prone. Okay, I'm gonna test the range on some of these weapons. Of course, the beam rifle's fantastic. Spot gun's not gonna reach. Grenade reaches this far, that's good. I think it was like 300 or something. The beam rifle. Missiles. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm actually hitting that wall. Yeah, very good range on the missiles. Yeah, so it looks like you can actually counter-snipe pretty easily with this suit, too. Like, the 450 range on the beam rifle is crazy. I think that might be similar to the Galgud Jaeger's rifle. Okay, let's get out and take a look at this thing. Yeah, I really love the geometry on this. The design is a little busy, especially around the skirt. The chest has a lot of crazy random shit going on, but... Yeah, the panel lining is pretty busy, but the general geometry I really like. I don't understand this tail binder. It is huge and random. And it still has the G-line shield, which I think is a really handsome shield. I really like the shoulders on this thing, too. Okay, alright guys, I think that's actually it for my thoughts on the full armor G7 Gundam. So this is a first look at it. Yeah, it's got a pretty normal counter. It is a very strong support suit. I'm really looking forward to taking it out on the field. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.